All right, everybody, welcome back. This is week 4, I believe, of Siege.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna be, I think, undefeated so far.
Undefeated so far.
Absolutely, we love to see it. And I am Dakota here with
Marshall.
Yeah. And if you don't know, I think did you come in last semester for a guest?
I did one guest cast last semester.
So we had guest casting, but Marshall here is in fact on the team that we are casting tonight. So he's going to know a lot more than I do. So you'll finally get somebody able to talk deep strategy, figure out what's going on, and kind of give a look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Unlike me and Alan, who it's like, well, when I played the game heavy about 5 years ago, this is what we were doing.
Yeah, hopefully can shed some insight on decision making and kind of the strategy behind what EKU decides to do tonight. And
Yeah.
What's hopefully going to be a win over Vandals JV.
Vandals JV, that is who we're playing. And for a second, Borger switched over to the spectators. I thought we might have had some problem, but yeah. So we'll be starting in here, and our first map, it seems to be Clubhouse. Now, you have played pretty good on Clubhouse in the past.
Yeah. So far, we've won it when we've played it so far this semester. It's one of our better maps. We picked it tonight, so hopefully this goes our way. Second map's going to be Chalet, which also pretty favorable for us. But Clubhouse hopefully going to swing our, especially starting on the defensive side here. It's looking pretty good for us. But you never know. You don't want to underestimate a team ever, so you always go into it knowing that it's always going to be a challenge. So we'll see what we can do tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I'd like to talk about, we've discussed in the past that Chalet was always great map to watch you guys play on, and we did end up seeing you witnessed this last week. If you tuned in last week, Alan and I get absolutely silenced by Moon just soul reading, I suppose, and hitting a one tap through a wall. We were stunned. So hopefully we can see some performance like that. We do got Moon here on the team. So you said that was map 2, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited to see map 2.
Yep. Yeah, no, definitely. We knew roughly where that alibi was at, but yeah, Moon hit a crazy wall bang, and luckily he didn't get moss checked. So no, they wouldn't have found anything.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We did immediately after Alan did say check his PC. So it was an interesting one, but he was going off all game. I will give credit. Specifically all round. That last round, I believe I think Moon cleaned up with 3 or 4 on that last round.
Yeah, he had a few. There was another crazy shot he hit right before that wall bang too.
Yeah. I think
Moon pulled that last round home for us for sure.
Oh yeah. In caster's terms, there was a and then a what?
Yeah.
So that just knows if you get 2 of those, you're going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Now it looks like I'm not too sure what exactly we're waiting for. It seems like maybe some of the other team might be still trying to figure it out. So I think we've just kept yapping here enough. So we'll go to a brief intermission here, and then we will figure out when we're starting, and we'll be right back.
Alrighty.
All right, so we are back. They may have been waiting for us, we figured out. So now that we've got that, we're going into our ban phase. Now, what are you expecting to see here in this ban phase?
From Vandals, not really sure. I'm not too familiar with this team. EKU, we typically know what we like, but it also depends on the opponent. But again, I'm not sure if we're very familiar with how Vandals play. So actually the Maverick coming in, that's going to favor EKU a little bit because we've practiced a little with Mav bans. We know how to play around that if that was to be banned out. So beyond that, I'm just expecting kind of a comfort thing, just something we don't want to deal with, like a Montaigne or a Blackbeard. Blackbeard being really, really annoying in this current meta. Any shield, you're probably going to see at least one shield banned a map in this meta.
Yeah. Sorry, the chat just got me a little bit there. I was just, before our game started, I was talking about how one of my favorite bits is to fully say the names of something. So seeing someone else fully type out Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege got to me a little bit. But yeah, so it looks like shield operators, didn't they get a nerf pretty?
You could call it a nerf. It was more of like a tweak, but there's still just the mechanics of it is still just really strong for taking space easy. It's like low effort space taking, and a lot of teams that are slower will rely on that shield to take that space as needed. So it ends up becoming like a kind of a comfort. Especially you'll see it banned against teams that play slower, so that they are forced to play without that shield and work for their space harder. But yeah, actually, so the Cade and Vigil bans coming out is interesting. Cade ban paired with the Mav ban makes sense. If you see a Maverick ban, then you know that you're going to have to deal with you're going to use EMPs and Thatchers. So Cade following up the Maverick ban, probably to prevent Tubarao Cade tricking. Could still see the tub, but it just doesn't synergize as well with Bandit like it does with Cade. So the Maverick ban kind of instigated the Cade ban there, I feel like. And then a Vigil ban, that's a really specific comfort ban, just probably gonna like to do a lot of droning and just don't want to have to deal with not being able to see the guy on drone. So gonna rely on drones for map control there.
Interesting. Also, because I know we do see a lot of that Bandit trick and Cade tricks. Actually, last game on Clubhouse, I remember me and Alan were kind of stunned when we were watching. I believe it was Sin try to use both of their little EMP nades on a thing and try to break it. They just never got the electric off of it. Yeah. So I can understand where Cade could be a bit more annoying to play around those EMPs than a Bandit would.
Right. If you don't have a Thatcher and you're bringing the pocket EMPs, you're going to rely on intel, making sure you know where that Cade claw is at, because if you're off with those EMPs, then you're going to waste utility there, and it happens sometimes. So. Mm-hmm. So I'm not surprised with the Cade ban, especially with our Maverick ban that we see there.
Yeah, and if anyone's been following this channel for a while, Maverick is my goat. I love Maverick. I hate to see it every time because so far, based on at least the bans, Maverick seems to be pretty good on this map and Nighthaven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the thing about Clubhouse and Nighthaven, that's a really good observation, because those two maps are the most hard breacher focused maps of the competitive map pool. You'll see lots of hard breachers and EMP ops, because you get your control by breaching those hard walls. Maverick just makes that a lot easier. Don't have to deal with, you can kind of just bypass utility as long as you know how to safely Mav trick. So yeah, especially Clubhouse, you'll see hard breacher bans a lot. And not really sure what the pause is over here. Maybe a player's not.
The last thing in chat, they're talking about Krispy Kreme, but it looks like we're discussing something with an admin so far. I didn't quite catch what the rules were, but we will take just a second to figure this out, and we will be right back with you.
All right.
All right, we have figured it out. It was, in fact, a rehost. So we were switching servers down to Central from East.
Yeah. Usually ECAC games are played on East servers, but apparently there's a change in the rulebook, and Vandals must prefer the Central servers. They could be from further west, so to make it fair, the match had to be rehosted on Central servers.
Can we tab on this screen? I would have to be hit tab. See if you can. Yeah, let's check the pings.
Attackers
Oh,
need to
they're
locate
still ain't
and
great.
defuse bombs.
Everybody with a little higher ping, but I'm not sure where the Vandals team is from, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like they must be like West Coast.
Yeah, they could be a West Coast team, which, you know, at the end of the day, this would probably be the most fair option then, so.
Yeah, I was saying, because I wanted to see if the ping balanced out more there or what, but that was we're still at the ping advantage here, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. So based on this operator lineup, looks like EKU is going to go for a more bunker defense here, and bringing the Buck over on Vandals. They're probably going to work that map control. Buck and Dokkaebi. The Dokkaebi switches off for Twitch, probably because they saw the Goyo. But the Buck definitely indicates they're going to go for some map control and start working Vert of both this side, especially the Arsenal area. You'll see him bucking likely in the main hall and in kitchen.
Yeah, so just we've heard a lot that Buck is one of those characters that is great. You have that shotgun. Oh, it looks like we were thinking about a cheeky spawn peek there from Lomo, but one of those characters that's really good at breaking those floors above the enemies and stuff. But now we do have Ram in the game to do just that. And it looks like there is a fight itching to happen there from Lomo, but now that they've got that intel with the drone, they may not be as keen to swing it.
Yeah, Lomo is not going to fear spawn peeking, even if he's on smoke with 3 smokes in his pocket. So he does not care. But this smoke on main stairs position is kind of a new meta thing a lot of teams are doing here. Essentially, Lomo's going to look to waste time by holding the shotgun on main stairs, and likely he's going to have Vert made on him, so he can't rotate back, but he's just going to play his life there to waste as much time on the main stairs as possible, just to free up a lane for the rest of the team to relax on their other angles on site.
Yeah, and it looks like we do have a fight getting ready to happen there from that cave. I don't know the actual comms for it, but
Yeah, it'd be Dirt.
Dirt, okay.
I think it might be Buck and Dirt. He seemed to be the one to take the damage there. I'm not sure if that was the case, but yeah. Looks like 2 Dirt pretty fast here from Vandals, so they're foregoing a lot of other space to really press Dirt here. We'll see what it works out for them, because it looks like EKU have a 2-way crossfire to cover that lane.
Yeah, back when I was playing at least, Dirt was one of those places that it was kind of a, hey, let's be silly. Let's try Dirt, because, or we would just call it the little cave, because you're kind of tunneling yourself in. Which, if EKU, which we do have several people holding that cross on site, it's kind of a risky play.
It's definitely a choke point, and you have to go for more map control, which is what we're seeing here. Somebody's motoed. He's getting pretty aggressive going to the site, but Lomo takes care of it. So Vandals here need to move together more. They're sending people out of sequence, and they need to be picked apart so far.
Especially just this amount of pressure Lomo's putting on them with the smokes.
Yeah, we'll get picked there by the main stairs player, but now it looks like everybody knows the last guy's main stairs. 4 up on EKU. Looks like a good round from EKU, just holding these lanes, and Vandals just not pushing together.
Yeah, it looks like, and like I said, hey, am I crazy for thinking it's weird to send people through that little tunnel?
Maybe them sending 2 people through Dirt without a shield. Sometimes you'll see a shield and somebody backing a shield up, but 2 people Dirt when you really need to pressure other lanes as well is a little unconventional. You might send 1 guy Dirt, but them stacking 2 was, in my opinion, a little bit of a waste of bodies, where they could have otherwise applied pressure elsewhere to pick apart these crossfires EKU had set up.
Yeah, I can see it working definitely as like a late game strategy. You kind of get someone tucked in there. We have some similar things in our team where you'll kind of tug someone in and then hope the other team forgets. So having them there to like kind of pseudo flank almost, like once you get the attention to the stairs there or the other side of the basement, just kind of fighting somebody and then having them sneak back in, hope no one's still watching that angle, but having 2 in there instantly, I agree, feels a little bit of a misplay, perhaps.
And now EKU gonna move on, head to gym defense, And it looks like they're bringing both Castle and a zombie to just protect from the highway presence on this gym site. Typically, while you're going to bring construction operators, I'd say. Bringing the Mira as well with Bandit. They're just going for a lot of position control here with these operators, and we'll see how Vandals decide to attack it. Bringing Dakota and Nomad indicates that they want to go for some map control here, prevent some flanks, and pick off anybody that's lurking.
Now, this is something we did see a bit last week with Sin, of picking that, what used to be Recruit, now I believe Striker, is it? So what is the tactical advantage there of picking that starter character on the attack?
Well, Striker on attack, you don't get a unique primary gadget, but having 2 secondary gadgets for utility play can sometimes be super beneficial if whatever you're trying to do involves specific utility. You can bring flashes, nades to burn and then nade. You can bring EMPs and hard breaches. There's just a lot of flexibility there if you're playing a utility focused round there.
Okay. I figured it had to be something similar to that, but I know sometimes back when it was Recruit, you'd see a lot of people play Recruit because just the amount of guns. You can get the best gun in the game on this guy with 2 pieces of utility.
Striker's gun is pretty good, but yeah, typically you'll see it brought for just that extra secondary utility. And also looks like Vandal JV, they're pressuring the cash and red side, and Man is gonna pick 2, just ripped apart EKU's red and cash defenders there, leaving the 3 that are left to have a lot of time left in the round to survive just over on this master side of the map.
Yeah, it looks like we still have a minute and 16 left in the round here, and most of them are kind of surrounding here on EKU. It looks like we're probably going to very soon see this attack start to condense down and start putting a lot of pressure on our EKU players here.
Yep. Wow, great swing from Moon off of the Mira. The Grim probably overexposed there, having a Mira that wasn't dealt with, and Moon does a good job punishing that mistake. This is what EKU are going to have to do. Punish these mistakes, but it looks like Vandal's doing a much better job of going together, and they pick Border there from that. Kolvik's bringing one back, though. 2v3 now.
Yeah, it looks like we still, despite having the numbers advantage, health advantage isn't looking too good for Vandals right now, and they still haven't got boots on the ground in our sites. They are on the floor, they're closing in, but we still have 2 full health operators here ready to hold those sites down.
Yeah, Moon with a great C4. They had intel on that guy that pushed into sight. Now it's a 2v2, and they know one's Logi. They're going to double up on this guy, and they get him, and now they've got the last one isolated. What a round. What a comeback for EKU to really tighten up the hatches on this 3v5 and pull it back.
Absolutely. Kolvik's there in that one room getting 3, I believe. Just strong defense there, just knowing positioning. I mean, that is just a pure instance of positioning can be key, even though EKU started immediately losing 2 people even very quick into the round. Just holding those defensive angles, being able to know this is where I stand my ground. As the one clip, I will not abandon my post. Right there, that was his post, and he held it.
Right. EKU surrendering, that cash control super early. Everything was going right for Vandals, but I'll be honest, it was similar to the situation that we saw in the first round. Vandals just could not execute onto the site together, and EKU punished them one by one.
And I will say, as a player myself, and you're a player yourself, I think we can agree that that is one of the hardest things to work on. Playing off of each other, trying to get your team to coordinate. You can practice strategies, you can practice plays all you want, but it just comes down to that instant reflexes of, dude, you need to swing off me moments that can really make or break a team's play.
Right. So now EKU going to jump over to cash defense. They're going to do this castle extension below with a Valk, who Lomo's probably going to be at least lurking over here on the master gem side of the map. But yeah, this castle hold below, they're trying to maintain vertical control, also so they can bandit trick here on the wall. With that Cade ban, they're going to rely on using this bandit for the wall denial utility. Looks like Vandals they're going to try to do a CC Raptors take. They have the Capital, they've got the garage door open. This is a take though that requires a lot of synergy and going in sequence. So Vandals really need to make sure they stay in sequence here if they're gonna stick to this take.
And now, as we joked about last week, the word of the day being adaptability. And a key instance of that is it was a very small, very quick to miss play that just happened there from Vandals, but there's a certain strength in knowing you're gonna lose. That Ash taking that swing there, taking some damage, knowing to just snap, turn around, and be like, okay, that guy got me. Fair enough. And take that time to just reposition, regroup with your team, rotate together, and play off of each other much more. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Playing off each other, not swinging those angles alone. And it looks like Vandals might be starting to play together a bit more.
Yeah, Vandals definitely identified this castle hold below and decided to take it on, and they picked the castle. And there goes the bandit, Kalvix, who tried to retake below. It's like it's a multiple man retake below. Lomo does get one to try to bring it back, but it's still a 3v4 for EKU, and they're gonna have to pull the same miracles from last round and tighten up on this man disadvantage. Try to punish Vandals' mistakes here. Does look like Vandals rotated over to construction side, and there's probably a read on this. Sin's going to telegraph this to Lomo, and Lomo's probably going to go for this main stairs flank. But meanwhile, Border and Sin are going to have to make sure they don't compromise the breach here on plat side.
Yeah, it looks like we're holding strong angles, but with 3 to 4, there's just going to be somewhere you can't watch.
Wow. So Vandals are going to take the space that they need, pick the people on site, and it's just Lomo coming off the lurk.
Ooh.
Wow. What a pick. Couldn't close it out, though. Only got one. At the end of the day, losing that castle and the bandit below, when Vandals decided to go for that castle hold below, it really cost EKU this time, and they could not tighten up those 3 men to secure the round here on the cash defense.
Yeah, it definitely felt like, as I was saying at the start of that round, just knowing when to pick your fights, when to back out was very, very helpful for Vandals there. And it seems like EKU could have gotten a bit more overconfident from those 2 rounds. Kind of, we didn't see as much of that. We kind of stayed on those lower floors. Even though it's a dangerous thing to give up, it's still, sometimes those quick decision makings can be very, very difficult.
Yeah. Now we're going to see the same strat back here on the bunker defense for basement. Would like to see EKU switch a few things up here, but then again, Vandals did just frankly seem lost the last time that they attacked this. They were out of sequence, 2 people dirt early. It was very strange attack, and EKU might be confident that this hold is just enough to confuse Vandals. But you'll see this time, though, Vandals are bringing that Montaigne, which is going to allow for easier zone control on whatever they decide to push. Them going dirt early last round makes me wonder if they'll send the Montaigne through dirt this time. But we'll see what Vandals have planned. No vertical operators to make that soft breach above the site. So it'll be interesting to see what Vandals decide to attack here.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting strat. I mean, since I've started casting, at least, seeing a round in a basement or even a second floor, middle floor, not having any kind of vertical play operators is a rarity.
Right.
Which we did see a vertical play operator the first round go through the tunnel, so they didn't really utilize it the time they did have. So very interesting to see what they're going to try to change up here.
Yeah, strange. EKU, somebody must have forgot their setup. They did not reinforce the kitchen hatch, so Vandals will get this hatch open for pretty free here. But EKU should still be able to manage this currently. And Montaigne's in bar, so I'm not too sure what they're trying to do very different with this Montaigne. But it does look like Sin is lurking upstairs. He's going to go for probably a late flank here, just hiding on the top floor where there's no presence to collapse down on that first floor at the right time.
Exactly. They may have enough information to understand that Vandals is not going to play to the verticality, and that is one of the biggest strengths you can have in this game, is having those verticality, because you're fighting from 2 to 3 different angles at the time, and if one of those angles is up, it's very hard to play off of. So being able to take that, even on defense, and know you have the offense just sandwiched there on that middle floor is very, very powerful.
It looks like 3 of the Vandals players are over here, like garage blue side of the map. It's very interesting. They might know about Sin here. Yeah, they had a read on Sin there and they collapsed on him. It was a little shaky, but they got him. And 4v5 now for the rest of EKU. Lomo peeling back from the main stairs so he can utilize his smokes elsewhere. They probably read here that Vandals are really looking to do blue, which it definitely is. 4 players are around this blue side of the map.
I mean, what a drop there. Just shooting pixels. I'm always impressed to see when you guys are just like, even with our little wall hacks we have in casting, seeing that it's like, how do you all know these things sometimes?
Yeah, a lot of the Vandals' presence here was blue side, but Lomo had the read on the first guy that came from Moto, but not the second, and now it's a 1v2 for Borger. He's got a Montane on him too. He's gonna get him. Wow. Sin going down on that roam, it just didn't work out for EKU.
Yeah, it seemed Vandals was able to just prioritize off of that and just work their way. And just once we were talking about playing together, that was just an instance of the strengths of that. Despite Sin having that great positioning, once they learned that he's there, being able to just swing him with 2 people is very, very powerful.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yeah, so we're moving into the 4th round, or 5th round here. I can't count, apparently. That's why they pay me to talk. And we're, once again, seeing the basement here.
Yeah, EKU gonna go again for Church, but they will bring some adaptations here. They have the Oryx for Sin to go for some more aggressive roam plays, which is what he was looking to do last round, but he got punished, so we'll see what he changes up on that end for this round.
Yeah, and we're seeing here, looks like they may be working more towards prioritizing those hatches like you were talking about, making sure that all of those middle floor hatches are reinforced.
Use a bomb.
The Vandals bringing the Deimos this round is a huge adaptation. That's going to allow them to find this Oryx of Sin a lot faster if they can identify that he's on the roam again.
Yeah, and I mean, I was going to say it last round, it is always kind of, when you're working against a team that does not have someone like a Deimos or a Jackal, not being able to really work off of these guarantees that you know someone's walking around up here lurking, it makes it a lot more risky to play in your attack. Having to look over your shoulder a whole lot more.
Right. And we see Sin getting Deimos tracked almost immediately. Vandals are right on that, on trying to get him back. At least if they don't pick him, they want to get him back to site here. Does look like he's gonna head through bathroom though, so he's not falling back totally. He's gonna remain up there for some alert plays. He's gonna make them work for him.
Yeah, and it did seem like, I did notice a very smart play here is, when in doubt, when you're feeling that pressure from the enemy team coming in, falling back to where you know Lomo is waiting. You know there's a teammate to your back here, so you only have to watch a certain amount of angles. It's a very smart play that, yes, you lost your space, but now you can work with Lomo here to be able to play off of each other's contact.
Right, and this roam worked out really well, to be honest, from Sin, sorry. And he's gonna waste a minute and a half of the round here, which is huge for a church defense. Vandals not really getting set to their spots until a minute and a half. Halfway through the round is gonna be huge for EKU's time management here. This clock we're probably gonna see dwindle a lot.
Yeah, we saw a lot of this last week where it felt like it was, sites were not even being looked at until about a minute left in the round, and that's what we're getting here. We talked about how easy that is to just have small little mistakes stack up on you. The more you start to rush, the more you're starting to kind of lose your cool, get a bit shaky, and it can cost you very, very dearly.
Yeah, EKU running this mirror though for 3 of the church defenses. Looks like the Vandals read into that really well and actually got the mirror open with Twitch, I would assume here. So this is some control that EKU's not going to have on this main and moto side of the map.
Yeah, and we're seeing right now, we were talking about that time crunch, and the moment, as if they were reading our mind, the moment we started talking about these times, and Sin is just able to drop so many. Moon getting 1, 2.
Yeah, Sin with a huge play there to kill the Montaigne and stuff out this blue push, which is the main side of the push. He's going to have to deal with this Moto player there.
15 seconds
Looks like
left.
Borger does get him, and the only one left is the main stairs player.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, so as I was saying, when we come to that, we're talking about
5
this
seconds to go.
time pressure, and we saw it see immediately. As I said, it's almost like they can just hear us casting. We start seeing the smoke go out. We see the fire being shot out there. It just gets to a point where you know they got to play time, so slow them down even more.
Yep.
And it's great execution there from EKU.
Yeah, Sin really MVP'd that round. He wasted a ton of time on that roam and had the timing on the push to stop the Montaigne blue side. And he and Borger were able to tighten up and close it out at the end there. That was a great round from EKU. Looks like they'll head back to gym. Looks like a similar setup to the one they did last time, if not the same. So honestly, I don't fault that, because the only reason they even got a scare last time is because everything that could go wrong went wrong on the cash and red side of the map. And this time, we're probably not going to see Lomo and Sin die that fast on that side of the map. And Vandals are going to have to work twice as hard this time around.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't able to see exactly what happened, but if I remember correctly, it was Man that dropped both of them that round, and it must have just been back-to-back, so either it was just the lock-in of the Century in 2 taps, or just a great spray transfer there, but either way, we're probably not going to see 2 drop to 1 person that fast again.
Right.
Because sometimes, no matter how tactical, no matter how planned out and well your defense is, sometimes someone just has to play the Century. You just can't really stop.
Yeah, Man made that hero play for Vandals last round. And so he can do the same this round, but if not, then Vandals are going to have to work a lot harder for that side of the map.
Yeah, it seems like we have same people, Lomo and Sin, holding on to this side with very strong operators to do so, with Azami and Castle. I almost said Clash for some reason. I don't know why. It's like a...
Clash is actually pretty common to have over there on the red side, so...
Yeah, maybe.
That was just real
Intuition.
game knowledge.
Yeah.
No, it does look like Vandals have spread the map on this attack here. They're all working different points for pressure, and this can work. It's kind of a fishing tactic here, where you're just looking to see if maybe you can work a pick somewhere on the map, take a gap. But at some point, they're going to have to be decisive on what they want to do.
Yeah, it seems every round, the biggest enemy is time. Just letting it take away, because it's hard. This game is a attack shooter. You can get really caught up in what do we need to do, what are they doing, how do we counter what they're doing, do they know what we're doing kind of mindset this whole time, that sometimes you forget, oh,
Wow.
and just what a lucky angle there from Sin, being able to take almost to 0 there on that ace.
Yeah, that would have been huge. It would have been all their hard reach capability out the window if that pick could have got secured there. But still low HP for the rest of the round and a major disadvantage for Vandals.
Yeah, just, small mistake like that, droning a little too far back with your heel sticking in. I always like to reference the team's Achilles heel, and that time it really was somebody's heel.
Literally. So now it looks like EKU are still holding on to this side of the map with just less than a minute left. Picks are going to start trading out. Looks like Vandals come out with the advantage on the cash side of the map, and there goes Borger on site. Suddenly, Vandals look like they've seized control of this round totally.
Yeah, and it's now looking as a 4v2 with, they don't get a lot of time on the map, but they got a lot of health to make something happen here. We take a miracle from Moon here in the shower.
Yeah, he does down 1. They have info on some of these other players here. Red Ping's coming out.
15 seconds to go.
But they know where
10
Moon
seconds
is.
remaining.
Being 1 HP, this is going to be tricky. He does have a C4. He could win on time if he...
5 seconds left.
Looks like they just probably didn't have the right side info, though, or else he could have C4'd that guy from bar. Unfortunate. Now it's a 1v4 post plant. It's not looking great.
Oh. just get sprayed through the mirror break there, Intel.
Yep.
Unfortunate. Not much you can do there with 1 health and a dream, but still hate to see it.
Yep. 3-3 defensive half from EKU Maroon. They're going to really rely on their attacks here to pull them across the line. This is a close match. Probably closer than EKU expected here.
Yeah, and one thing we did see a lot in the past was these teams, especially we saw it a lot last semester from EKU Maroon, where the defense half would go swimmingly. And then the moment it switched over to attack is when stuff would start slowly crumbling down. But this semester so far, it feels as though the attack is great, almost even stronger than our defense sometimes. So I'm looking forward to seeing it this round, how we're going to be able to work around this tied first half.
Yeah, lots of execute operators coming out from EKU. You see the Capital, the Grim, and the Ying. Buck is still there for the vert control, but EKU definitely have a specific execute that they're going to want to go for here with all this util dumping. Meanwhile, Vandals looks like maybe with Valk, they might try to roam a little bit. Just not as much site utility for a bunker here, but they could still bunker up, especially with the Lucy and the Fender. Spawn peek actually from Valk.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Oh, I was like, leaving, but it was Valk. Dropping one of those cheeky cameras outside real quick. But that does give us info what part of the map this Valkyrie is at. So long as they don't just instantly sprint right back to site, which I believe they could have. I did see 4 people on site there. We do know that there's something going on in that.
Yeah, it looks like Vandals are going to bunker up. If EKU read this pretty quick, they're going to be able to go. Oh, huge overextension from the finger, and he's punished by Lomo.
And just, I mean, the timing there, not clearing the top of the stairs is just, I mean, just an unfortunate slip up there.
Yep.
But very fortunate, I should say, for EKU.
Fortunate for EKU getting that opening pick on the attack here, and they know they have full map control. They know they can start working these hatches and the vert control. Only a minute into the round 2 at this point.
A really big fucking
Yeah, and we're seeing yeah, so start of the round, we've already got one fight here, one from EKU as we're taking away here. 1 minute left on the 1.5 minutes left on the clock. And I mean, EKU still has full control of this middle floor.
Yeah, EKU probably going to be deciding what kind of execute they want to go for here. In the meantime, they can just fish for some more picks with all this pressure that they're opening up on the Arsenal side and with these hatches.
drone activated.
Yeah, looks like we're just grabbing some more intel. I mean, we have the time to work with and the numbers here to work. Just find out where these people are, where we can play off of. I mean, we just learned where 3 of them was in just a second of droning.
Yeah, EKU have everything they need to go for and execute soon. They have all the intel, they have the utility, the map control. But Valkyrie's gonna come up garage side. Nobody must have been over on the blue side to maintain that flank. Gonna get refragged, but they equalized the man count there, and it's gonna be harder for EKU to collapse in a 3v3 here.
Yeah, especially with health advantage going so far towards Vandals' side here. I mean, your Moon here, you're starting to panic. You know, you don't have someone. Ooh.
Yeah, he just needs to hold a crossfire there, but he's actually going to get picked, and now Culvert's on the hatch drop. They're going to need some miracle plays here.
Drop the diffuser. 15 seconds remaining.
It's not going to work out. Wow. When everything going right for EKU, but that one flank messed the entire round up for them, and great work on the timing from Vandals. The Fenrir overextended, but they made up for it with the timing on the Valkyrie flank to bring that round in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, I think I love assigning like the key phrase of something. That was absolutely a timing. We saw that timing first time with not clearing the stairs right when you need to, and then they got us with a timing right back with that run up that flank, being able to just, once you've got control, you need to make sure you maintain it before tragedy strikes, like we saw last round, being able to clean it up. And I believe the end of that man cleaned it up with the last 3 of EKU. So this is this is a force to be reckoned with. They're going 12-3 so far in 8th round. It's pretty good.
Yeah, man, definitely making a huge impact on this game. And Vandals going to jump over to the gym defense here. They're going to run pretty similar ops to what we saw from EKU's gym defenses. They're just going to drop that mirror for a mute,
10
which
seconds
is
to go.
interesting, but probably just to catch some drones and to cover some extra walls
5
here
seconds left before insertion.
from the mute.
Attackers objective
And
is to
yeah,
locate a
Clubhouse
bomb
being
and
a
defuse
hard
it.
breach map, we see 3 hard breachers coming out from EKU. They're going to want to open these walls to get this pressure on these spots so they can take the map control that they want.
Yeah, especially with one of the characters that is very, very detrimental being banned with that Cade, knowing that, I mean, you can only bandit trick in one spot. So with 3 hard breaches, you know you're making it onto that site one way or the other.
Right. And this is a interesting visual bug here.
Yeah, I was like,
It's like Lomo has no gun, but I'm pretty sure he does.
yeah, looks like he's getting ready to start grappling.
Yeah.
Ground. They knew they had a, maybe they had a, oh,
Stay back!
we might have to check some ping here maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Some kind of weird visual bug, but
Unless we're trying to breach the floor, which I highly doubt we were.
might have used 2 Hibana pellets to open up that Logi hatch just because it's a soft hatch. And spare some of the rest of that utility probably for castles and for
Attackers
other
have
walls
located
like
a
the
bomb.
cache wall perhaps. Now EKU getting some intel on this this cache and red side. They're a little slow, a little behind schedule here. They're gonna have to make some plays fast to take control on this cache and red side of the map if they're looking to have this control for their execute.
Yeah, and it does seem like, as of now, Lomo's decided not to try to kill them with kindness, does have a gun once again.
Yep.
So, whatever little visual bug that was, we've got it figured out, and we're starting to, looks like, try to actually make some ground here, get some distance onto the site, just get swung there.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Yeah,
Attackers
unfortunately
recovered
the
bomb
coverage
diffuser.
not coming out from Platt, and yeah, just not really using utility or the manpower here to work the cache and red side like they need to. They have Capitao for red. Usually you see Capitao clearing the red side with his utility, but it's like that's not happened yet. I'm gonna look to open the cache wall for cache pressure. They can get a breach on it. Sin will pick up man, and that's the man down 4v4 for the rest of the round with no man from Vandals. So suddenly EKU have the space that they wanted, but only 20 seconds left. It's going to be tricky for them to pull off this execute. It's going to have to be very low mistake
Yeah,
execute.
I mean, shooting that Capital fire right in that bathroom, too, is a very, very strong way to hold
10
those
seconds remaining.
defenders off of one of the strongest points to hold here, because you just have that wall you can play around that nothing can really
Attackers
break
bomb
through.
diffuser has been dropped.
Yeah, it looks like they have the bulletproof camera to get the C4 off, and just not enough time.
Operations have run out of time.
The bulletproof camera with the intel, and if you remember EKU's defensive round, they did not have that intel on the planter. We could have seen a Moon 1v4 if he C4'd where they were planting, but they just didn't know. But this time Vandals knew, and they got the C4 off there and just stuffed that really late EKU execute. And timeout from EKU after that one. They're down 3-5 on their map pick.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about, just that time, it can really be the kryptonite for a team. Just seeing, I mean, we saw the dream there at the end. Those two took the site. They had their angles. They were playing off of each other very well, and they were just able to clean them up with that C4 and no time to recover the diffuser. So, just a unfortunate bit of a stall there, but hopefully we'll see this timeout, get our heads back in the game, chat a little bit, and figure out what can be going on. And we'll just take this last second, take a little bit of a breather here, and then we'll get right back to you.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, we're back in here with fresh mental, hopefully. Got some new stuff going on. Now, as a member of the team here, what do you think they discussed in that timeout? Kind of give us a glimpse behind the curtain there.
Well, both of the rounds that they lost gave them two very different things to look at. They were kind of opposite rounds for EKU, right? Like the first attack round that they had an effective early round. They had almost full map control in a minute, but they lost due to a late round flank. The opposite on their gen defense, they were really slow getting that full map control. They eventually got it, but because they were so slow, they were punished on the execute. So just a lot of little things to talk about there, and they just need a clearer vision to, it looks like that vision came through on the church attack, but on Jim, they did not have a clear vision on how they wanted to approach to make it fast. Now for Cash, they probably talked about what they want to do for Cash, and I'm sure they've identified these problems and know they got to go faster.
Yeah, I mean, and we're seeing it here already. Just some
Attackers
quick
have
plays,
located
already
the bomb.
getting the drones into blue.
Yeah, with Lomo droning out strip and everything, there's a very good chance EKU decide to go for a master over clear here rather than a garage clear. Usually every time you're going to see this plat wall get open, which is where our Thatcher and Thermite are at, good pick on punishing the bandit trigger. Bringing the Capital for that punishment worked out really well. Now there's man advantage for EKU. They'll get that plat wall open because of that, and now they can work for whatever they want. Looks like they want that master over control.
Not only, as you said, not only numbers advantage, they have that breach advantage now. They'll be able to very easily, no worries, be able to breach any wall they want with that Thatcher and Thermite.
Yeah, opening plat wall is critical to any cash and CC round. You pretty much have to have it for any round to go your way without some miracle plays. And then it's a question of, do you want to go for garage as well, or do you want to go master over as well? Definitely master over here for EKU. But Vandals are not going to give it up for free. They are contesting this.
Yeah, we see a bit of one of those instances where you take your gamble shooting through walls where they might be, then you very bullet spread and take a little bit of damage, but not too much. Not bad enough that really we're worried about it, as we're already taking a lot of ground into the bedroom.
Yeah, EKU doing much better this round about knowing what they want and taking it with authority. And they have a minute left to work with, and they have map control all the way up to construction. So now it's just about whether or not EKU know how to effectively execute on this cash side.
Looks like so as we swing here, whether they kill us or not, we do get info there that there is somebody on the staircase, because we can just. Oh,
okay, that's an interaction I don't know if I've seen.
I don't.
As a Kiba barrier kill.
Yeah, I didn't know that was possible. What? I mean, would that just do normal util 5 damage?
I'm not sure. He threw the Kiba at Kolvix and killed him.
Love to have seen that from that POV. I mean, it makes sense that they are throwing knives, so.
Here comes the util dunk from EKU. They're gonna go with the XQ. Smokes out, rims out, plants going down. They just need to cover these last two guys. Moon's gonna get one. Now there's just one left. EKU doing an excellent job to really facilitate this round.
And
Wow.
then Sin cleans it up. Just a beautifully executed round. The kind of rounds you want to see after a timeout, for sure.
Yeah, great bounce back round for sure.
Because I mentioned it last time we saw, I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, but just as good as a timeout can be, that's still a minute that the other team gets too. So it's always kind of a gamble, because sometimes you'll see, I mean, it's happened to me, I'm sure it's happened to you all too, the times you take the gamble, you have your timeout, and you think you're getting better, and then you just see a masterclass from the other team and realize, man, maybe they spent that minute way better than we did.
Yeah, sometimes when you're not the one that calls the timeout, you're thinking, so what's the other team going to be discussing in their timeout, and how are we going to counter what they counter with their timeout? Sometimes it can be mind games, but EKU definitely worked that one out. I think that one was a much bigger picture timeout. It was just, we lost 2 rounds. We want to slow it down. At least slow down Vandals running away with it, and we want to speed up and get our control fast and be assertive, and they weren't. It worked out. And now they're going to head into the second half. 1 round down,
10
but
seconds remaining.
they've seen all of Vandals' defenses now, and it looks like Vandals are not going to switch too much up here on their church defense. They're bringing the Legion this time, but that's not a major change. So EKU now familiar with how Vandals are playing this, and we'll see if they're going to be able to punish them more effectively. And one thing I see immediately is the Nomad brought to ensure that those flanks don't happen.
Absolutely. That's just a perfect instance of just adapting to what went wrong. How do we counter it? And I mean, knocking them flat on their back is a great way to counter a flanker.
And it looks like they knew that. What a shot from Lomo. Kolvik's on that garage camera. They knew that they were sending the Legion up top floor. Lomo immediately punishes him. Great stuff from EKU. The rest are bunkered up. As soon as EKU read this, if they haven't already, they're going to get right to this pressure and map control with Burt hatches here on the church attack.
Especially losing someone like Legion very fast can not only damage, you have the player, you also have a slowing down ability. Those Legion mines that continually regenerate as the round goes, you can just keep putting more and more. Now having however many he was able to set up in the start round just shows that we can play fast. We can get aggro.
Clear.
Yep.
A little bit of teamwork makes the dream work there to break that.
They're gonna pop a barricade. Might have been a C4 there that downed Moon. He should be safe to res from EKU and get back to working Burt. And it's tricky. You gotta be careful of those C4s, especially when you're working Burt. Vandals for sure knowing that EKU wanted to go for that Burt control and punishing with the well-timed C4.
Step back.
And now they're challenging the Vert. Vandals do not care.
Yes, especially we've seen man in these gunfights. I don't know about you, but if I am sitting here at 13-5, I'm getting greedy. I'm gonna start challenging a lot more than I normally would challenge angles.
Definitely want to be careful not to overheat, but yeah, I mean, man's been the man so far for Vandals, so definitely no fear to challenge the Vert there.
I mean, especially coming off of a Kiba barrier elimination. It's just crazy work.
I mean, yeah, that's just crazy.
If I'm playing Siege and I get someone with a throwing knife, I'm feeling good for, I mean, the rest of my career, maybe.
Kolvik's hopping in on the 7. He's been through the ringer so far, but we'll see if he can pull it back with the rest of EKU, who are already going for their execute moons down the hatch. He's planting default, probably seeing util dump otherwise and pressure points, and it's working out for EKU. They have the man advantage. They have the bomb down. Vandal just caught off guard by this util dump in the plant. Lomo's still going in. 3 for him and 1 for Moon, and it is over for Vandals in this round.
Yeah, I mean, one of those rounds where we talk about time and how it can get iffy as time runs out, and it's one of those instances of sometimes you don't need a lot of time. Sometimes once you get your knowledge, once you know they're just all left bunkered on that site, just to drop in, do your play, do what you know how to do, and then you start dropping them. And we're getting another timeout here. Anything you need to say? Think we're gonna be talking about here, or?
I think Vandals are just going to try to slow down EKU. They're getting 2 attacks. Attack can sometimes, you can feel kind of an emotional or psychological momentum. So that's typically where you'll see timeouts, and Vandals are just wanting to slow down this EKU attack after they get 2.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that. Even if it's not something you really need to discuss, sometimes it's just a snowball. As you mentioned, once you start winning rounds, especially in games like this, the snowball effect is very real. You take your 1, you take your 2, and it's like, okay, we can get 3, 4, and maybe even get that last one just clean up.
Yep.
And we're seeing it. I mean, it's still a neck and neck game here at 5-5. So both teams are starting to want to win this one, especially this round, while not being the decider, puts it to where whoever wins this round needs 1 more to win, and whoever loses this round needs, it would be 2 to start over.
Attackers need to locate
So,
and defuse as many bombs as they
this is
can.
a big round to win.
Yeah, definitely. Round 11, definitely huge, definitely decisive. And looks like EKU also going to utilize the timeout to come up with a new attack strategy here on the gym side, bringing the Montaigne. We did not see that last time, so good from EKU to adapt to what Vandals are doing, and it looks like no adaptation from Vandals. They run the same gym defense. It worked out really well last time, but now EKU know what they want to do, and they know what Vandals
10
did,
seconds remaining.
and we'll be interested to see how EKU now
5
approach
seconds to insertion.
bringing the Montaigne, bringing the Ying, new operator lineup for this attack against the same Vandals defense.
Yeah, and that is very interesting. So it very well could have been, as we were discussing, just one of those instances of let's just slow them down. Make sure they have a minute between their last round and this. Or, I mean, we're sitting here strategizing what it could be. It could always be the infamous potty break. It could have been someone just had to go sprint to the bathroom real quick, but we'll have to see how they play in there. Interesting that that is just a soft breach there.
Yeah, usually on this extension you'll reinforce that wall, but they instead elected to reinforce the red walls. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's a good play, and I think EKU can more easily punish that. But we'll see. It's still this Azami red that gave them a lot of trouble last time around.
Yeah, but we do now this time have that Monty to play off of. Pressure this person that dropped, I believe it was 2 or 3 of our players last time we did this attack.
Yep. Sin getting in below though, this will be an important piece to taking care of this Azami. He's gonna lurk up below, and then they get ready to execute on the top red player.
Yeah, take this fight at 2 to even 3 different angles here. No matter how good or how out of your mind you're playing here as man, you can't fight 3 fights at once.
Attackers drop.
Just like EKU may be able to drop 1 here. Yep.
Yep, Sin below is gonna pick the top red player, and they now have this red control. They're gonna get cash control soon, and another
From Sin. That's crazy.
down a con player. That wasn't even the guy they downed. Now they are rolling 5v2 for EKU. Great adaptation to this setup that gave them so much trouble the round before, and they have a whole minute left to decide how they want to execute 5v2 on site. Only a low HP bandit and a mute left.
Yeah, and I mean, of all the people, this is the 2 most defensive util people you could be in a 2v5 of defense. You've got absolutely nothing to help you out here as Lomo finds 1, and it's just, I mean, getting 1 as a bandit low health is fine. We'll have to see. The dream is here, low HP and a dream, but Borger is able to clean them up and take out that 6th round win for EKU. Now we're sitting pretty. We just got our 1 more and we're moving on to map 2 or the dreaded overtime.
Yeah, Vandals have a choice to make here. Do they run back Gym where they won the first round, or do they try Cash again? Actually, they have Church because EKU also won that last Church attack that we saw. So they're gonna elect to go down to Church. They believe the most on that to get them a win. Let's see if they change anything up to try to stop EKU, who is now steamrolling on their attack side.
Yeah, this is a very interesting
Attackers
pick
need to
if you ask
locate
me,
and defuse
because
bombs.
this is the round we saw just that quick, flawless execute from EKU. So challenging that rematch there on this side, it's a bit of an interesting play, and we'll have to see. Maybe we were thinking in the short term, maybe they figured out something for this defense that they're just buying their times when they can play it back and
Camera feed up
do
and
the
running.
run back for here.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think Church is the easiest site to defend and the hardest to attack on this map. So I think Vandals just kind of
10 seconds
defaulting
left
this
before
confident that they can put the
5
pedal
seconds
to
to
the
go.
metal on EKU finally and send it to overtime by grabbing a defense
Attackers
here.
must locate and
They
defuse
also
the
bring
bomb.
the tuber route to try to waste more time on the hatches, but again, EKU, they know how Vandals like to play this, and they'll likely quickly deal with anybody that's off site and start getting to work here. Currently, that Legion on Darkheart is the only player that's not on site, so EKU need to identify that if this Legion's the one guy they need to deal with and start going in. It looks like he's already down. He went down blue stairs, so it's a full bunker now, and EKU should read this pretty fast here and start working with, again, only 40 seconds into the round.
Yeah, I mean, this game started, it looked like it was going to be scary for EKU when it comes to just pure gunfights. And that's what bunkering down really draws down to, is who wins their fights. And we were seeing Man quickly climbing to that KD. But now we're sitting here with Sin going 12-5 and Lomo with 11-8. We've got our players getting those high KDs just like Man. So, I mean, EKU here, I wouldn't be too scared to just full challenge a bunker.
Yep, that's what they're going to have to do with everybody on Vandals down in that basement. We're going to see, with the Ying and the Grim, we'll see a lot of util to help swing those fights in EKU's advantage, but at the end of the day, you got to win some gunfights. And we'll see what EKU can do. They're going a little bit slower, taking their time on this bird control, but they're getting these hatches, opening these soft floors. Going to start pressuring Vandals on the site.
I'm not sure. I didn't quite catch what happened there, but we already are seeing Moon losing a bit of HP, which can be.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Alright, that could be very detrimental to an attack like this.
He's gonna punish the 2 morale though. What a shot from Moon there on the bird control. Might have taken that damage from a C4, could have been from the 2 morale himself, but he immediately punishes.
And I just mean one of those instances of. I feel like sometimes the players just have omniscience to what we're saying about them. I'm out here talking about Moon taking damage can be detrimental, and then he just goes and finds one. So
Looks like he will get refragged though. I'm not. That might have been on the main stairs where he played last time. And Lomo manages to shoot that C4. That was huge, and that mute just barely gets out alive.
I would have honestly. I'm Lomo there. I scream. I'm just gonna be so real with you. Just having that C4 thrown at you can be terrifying. But just happening to spray down on them and get. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. The skilled shot onto that, but they were spraying. So who knows? But I still would have been terrified.
With 15 seconds left, EKU have to execute. It was 3v4, but they've brought 2 back. Now they know there's 1 dirt. Sin goes down though. They kill the church player. They know the last one's dirt. Have to come out with this coverage. And Lomo gets it. What a clutch execute there, especially from Lomo getting these picks. And great execute again from EKU. They lost those first 2 rounds on their attacks, but they called that timeout and immediately made the adjustments that they needed and showed why they picked Clubhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those instances that shows just a minute in a game like this can make or break, can determine just how powerful one of those things can be.
Yeah.
And now, as we wait to go into this next round, I mean, EKU's got to be feeling great. And as we discussed at the start of it, this is one of our best maps we're moving into.
Yeah.
Even though I believe it wasn't our map pick, it's still just solid for us.
Yeah.
We've got quite a strong hold on this map. We played it last week. We had an amazing play from Moon final round. Take a moment here in our intermission. That's an insane moment. I ended up immediately after, because I was already talking to Sin that day to figure out what exactly was going on, to try to get the game matched up. Immediately after, I was like, dude, what happened? We're sitting here on the caster's side. It's like, did he hear like a tiny footstep? Did someone give him the util? And the answer was a gut intuition call, which is just,
Definitely some intuition involved there. We knew that I was actually playing in that one, so I can give some insight as well. We knew that alibi was in kitchen, and Moon heard her running in carpet, which is that room between kitchen and West Main, and definitely had the perfect read on where to be shooting, and just perfect playing off of just game sense and audio and knowing where to shoot. And kind of looked like we ought to check his PC after that shot. But
even we watched it back play by play, doing the little high technique of pausing it a couple times really fast to see, we could see through the wall and had no idea that guy was there.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing play, and I was hoping to see that back there. But while we wait for this next game, we're going to go to a brief intermission. We'll be right back, and we'll be seeing you again on Chalet. And we are back here, starting into our next game. And we figured out there was just a bit of a re-lobby there, re-host. So we've got that going in for us. And we're starting back with Chalet. Now, this was Vandals map pick, but EKU does have a strong history on this map. We're already seeing the Monty ban, which is what we were expecting, really. I was expecting last round, but then I got my heart shattered and stomped on when they banned Maverick. But what we're going to see here from EKU is going to be more targeted, or is it going to be more general ban? Looks like it's just a general ban. We've got pretty much both teams here saying we do not like shield characters, and I cannot blame them at all. At all. Now we're seeing here from EKU on our ban phase, Fenrir, which we did see some Fenrir play from last round, so this could be one of those bans. It's a bit of a mix between targeted and general.
Yeah, interesting ban. They probably read that Vandals do like to play that Fenrir, and Vandals gonna ban the Montana Zombie. Pretty default bans here. Fenrir just a little odd for Chalet, but that could be just EKU don't want to deal with it, and they know that Vandals like playing it.
Yeah, we're seeing quite a comp here. The Frost, every time I see it, I feel a pain in my soul from the amount of Frost traps I've stepped in my career.
Gotta watch for those bear traps.
Yeah, because I mean, even in a higher level of play, you can step in them, and two, you're gonna be smart. You're gonna look for them, but that still provides a problem because every time you enter a door, or not a door, a window, I mean, you're gonna have to look down real quick before you can peek in to catch your other angles clear.
Right.
So even if you're not expecting to get someone to step in it, it is a great way to slow down, grab intel. Where do you hear them shooting the traps at?
Right. Yeah, usually you'll either see them put on like a really odd like place where you might not think to look for one, or you'll see them put on windows that are important to hold jump-ins, and that way you force the attack to either shoot the frost mat or shoot you, and whichever they choose, they're going to get punished by the other.
Absolutely.
So it's a way to force the attacker's hand there, and it's especially common here. Like you'll see it on some master holds. You'll see it a lot on these bar holds as well, because you also get the deployable shield, which is important for bar holds for that top blue stairs and top library power positions. Because Chalet is really a lot about certain power positions. There's a little room for lurking. You see Sin in the basement, but we'll see the rest of these guys really anchoring some power spots.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we were discussing very heavily last week, that just maps like this is one of the older maps in the game. I remember it thoroughly when I played, and I mean, I'm an old man. I played so long ago, but it's just, as we've talked about, a lot of it's just been solved. It's been cracked. Where's the best place to stand is not an opinion, it's a fact at this point. And we've just seen it last time with a few times. I believe it was actually in that round we were talking about Moon. We saw EKU just break the floor at a perfect place that you could watch two angles from. And we're just like, that's just crazy knowledge right there.
Yeah, it looks like this Fuse is going to get aggressive, jump in this library window to pressure the mirror that's standing in the Grimbies. But somehow Fuse gets out with his life and doesn't pick the mirror from Lomo. Lomo going to elect to drop the hatch now from the pressure. And Border are going to go down to a guy that jumped in K9. And what a shot hit onto Kolvix, asleep at the wheel. And Ying just puts him to bed. It's a 3v4 now for EKU, and no library side control above the site with still 1:20 left. This is looking dire already for EKU.
Cluster charge going up.
Yeah, I mean, we have almost no health on the Fuse, so if we are able to grab that pick at the start of whatever gunfight we're doing, that'll be huge for us in evening out the numbers. However, as of right now, in a game like Siege, where technically everybody's one shot,
Wow.
it can make a difference.
Yeah, Lomo and Sin were going for a double flank there, but they were ready for it. They killed Sin, but here's the magic of a double flank. You don't expect the next one. He's going to get the Fuse, and he's going to get the bottom fire. He's in a 1v4 here, but he gets two. One's planting, and he's gonna have Bird on him.
I mean,
Attackers are activating.
this is the situation we want to be in, grabbing the third.
Now all Lomo has to do is identify where this last attacker's at. If he knows he's in stock, Lomo could easily win this round. This is very winnable, and he definitely knows he's in stock. He's making Bird on him for some pressure. Looks like he's gonna drop bar side, take the 50-50 gunfight on the stock attacker here. 1v1. Oh, missing some poles there in the bar
pro's
wall. That could be a
scary.
difference maker.
Yes!
And he gets it.
What a play from Lomo. Quad to finish out the round.
Protect the diffuser. Position compromised.
Wow. The mechanical jiggle peek to find that he's prone and hits the shot and gets the defuse with less than 3
Bomb
seconds to
defusing
go.
attempt failed. Defenders win.
What
I
a
mean,
1 versus 4.
Yeah,
Impressive.
absolute instance of 1v4 and a dream on your side there. Just absolute masterclass performance there to finish up that round. And immediately backing up what we were talking about with this team on Chalet.
Yeah, and think from Vandals' point of view after that round, you lose the first map close after you're up 5-3 and you still lose 7-5. And now, first round of the second map, you have a 4 versus 1 and you lose it. Vandals' mental is going to start chalking if they do not take control and keep the spirits up. This is where the vibes people on your team come in to get the team going, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if that's me, I'm starting to check out after that if my team throws a 4v1.
And honestly, glad you said that, because as the self-proclaimed vibes person on my own personal team, I was gonna say it is so hard to recover from a
5 seconds
loss, close loss on the other team's map pick. And then it's like, well, don't worry. We've practiced our chalet. We know this map. We're ready. This is our map pick. And then dropping the 4v1, I know I would be fighting a war zone in my call. Of being like, nah, we got this, guys. Come on. Keep it together. I cannot just imagine. Just to be a fly on the wall in Vandals' call right now would be an amazing time.
Yeah, might be a little quiet, but now
It's either quiet or the loudest place you've been.
yeah,
One or the
it's
other.
Well, EKU now, they're over here on a garage defense. They have 2 people still upstairs with the rest on site and going for a Mav on the wall. And it looks like Border, he really wants to get freaky here.
Border is absolutely frothing at the mouth.
Now he's going to get picked if he does it prone. Yeah, wow. Should not really crouch at that hole there, because that's just a really strong one-way for the attack. If you want to challenge that, you probably need to prone Border.
I think knowing Border a bit personally as well, that felt like a moment where just from the non-verbal communication there that was being done, just watching the game, that felt like I can do this. No, I shouldn't, but I can do it. And then by the time the decision's made, you're getting shot.
Yeah. Oh, but sitting here, he had a good rat position, but he overextends a little early, and he's punished by the ace. And now Lomo, Lomo might have one now.
Oh man, that is unlucky. You know where they are. You're checking the way to find them, and just perfectly dodging whatever angle you needed to see to actually find them.
Yeah, this time in 2v5, he's gonna be able to throw a planting here, but he's to stay alive. Moon also gets one, and Lomo with another, and suddenly it's a 1v1. Ace is down, and Lomo in yet another unwinnable situation turned 1v1. Do they know the Ace is down, and do they know that Maverick is outside Snowmobile? I think they do. Yeah, Lomo drops with confidence. He knows that he's in. Another Lomo 1v1.
I mean, it looks the fight's about to happen, and Lomo
He gets him. Perfect crosshair placement, punishes the Maverick. What a round from Lomo.
can't do that, man. Twice in a row. What is?
Yet another throw from Vandals.
What am I watching, Lomo?
We're gonna need to see a masterclass in mental reset from these guys, because
I mean, just pull up the scoreboard here real quick. Let's just 7-0 round 2.
Lomo 7 in 2 rounds. He's going huge, and not to discredit Moon getting an important pick there in the 2v5, but I mean,
Defenders, protect your
Lomo
bombs from being defused
just
by
showing
attackers.
why. I mean, you got to kill Lomo or you're not winning the round.
Just Lomo absolutely hurt us talking about Moon's play
Attackers
on
discovered the location of a
Chalet
bomb.
and said, no. We're only talking about me on Chalet this week.
Yeah. Lomo said, "Let me show you something."
Let me show you my Chalet gameplay here. And I mean, just an amazing play.
Secure the wall.
Yeah. Now EKU gonna go to
10 seconds
kitchen
remaining.
and wow, we've seen some amazing plays from Lomo,
5 seconds to go.
clutching a 1v4 and then part of the 2v5 there. It is concerning how bad the rounds do look for EKU pretty fast, and you gotta wonder though if you can sustain that continuing through the game, because you would hope at some point Vandals start securing rounds that they do get the advantage in. But I mean, it's got to be a little chalk after that one.
But yeah, I would pay twice as much as I would have last round to just hear the comms going on in Vandals right now. Of how do you let this happen twice? Same guy too.
Yeah, Lomo already playing more aggressive here, so Lomo gonna more so be on the front lines this round. So if he might not be alive late round, unless he kills all of them here on the front line here on office side, because it definitely looks like Vandals want to go for this library over into office control. So we'll see how EKU can hold on to the piano and office side for a little bit here.
Yeah, and I mean, Lomo is feeling brave. I mean, looked like he was swatting away mosquitoes with the amount of drones he started shooting at there. So they know he's there. Oh, just a great angle there.
Yeah, good shot from onto the castle there, but it looks like Lomo immediately refrags.
Yeah, it was quick enough that I didn't even catch who got Moon there. The refrag was too quick.
Yeah, and Vandals really slowed this round. Not as dominant through the round this time around. They do not have the control they want. Over half the round is gone.
Lomo is continually showing them that he is not leaving this
Jackson
spot
dropped
and
the
will
bomb
continue to
diffuser.
fight as Border takes down the one person that was there. I mean, what an angle right there.
Defender
Lomo with a
is
huge run. He gets one of the other ones on the main stairs. He won't get it, but
Lomo.
he gets away with it.
Lomo, don't come back!
Little bit of an overheat there from Lomo, but and he's still
He's
not
still
dead,
not
though.
down. Lomo is still in the game here. I'm Lomo. I am begging, please pick me back up. I want to be 9-0 at this point.
C4 deployed.
Yeah, Lomo just not sure if Border can go for this revive unless it looks like that the Nomad leaves. Just gives the revive away for free. Might not have known that they downed Lomo there, but now looks like EKU have Case on K9 and Lomo's back up.
I just love hearing there. And oh, what a C4 here. Not quite far enough, but I just love the fact that we see
15
Lomo get
seconds
picked
to go.
up and he just moves, going straight back into the combat.
He's instantly back in his face. Looks like the boys on site will clean up the last one, but yeah, that was a much better just team round though from EKU. I mean, we've talked about Lomo. Definitely had the perfect hero plays on those first two rounds, but this round EKU didn't allow Lomo to be in that position this time around. This time
Exactly.
the rest of them pitched in and they took care of business. Looks like Vandals never got any inch of control that they wanted to, and just a great round from EKU and a 3-0 start on defense on Chalet. It's looking pretty promising
Defenders,
for
protect your
EKU to
bombs from being
steal
defused by
this
attackers.
map pick of Vandals, unless Vandals can bounce back
Attackers
after
have located a bomb.
just a terrible start to
Yeah.
their map pick.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen a game look like it's going one way and then immediately turn around. Which knock on the desk here. We ain't seeing that this time, hopefully, because as you mentioned, as much as we are just talking about the sheer excitement of the way Lomo has been playing these first 2-3 rounds now, it's still everyone is putting in the work here. even Lomo's 9-0 can't happen without the intel from the team,
5
the
seconds left
other
before
people.
insertion.
Like, it could have been a 5v1
Attackers are
and not have made it, you know? All of this stuff, EKU has been playing just phenomenally together these rounds, especially that last round. That whole never really crumbled. We dropped 2 and we got down once, but we were able to get them back up, keep that 3v1, and clean up the round much more secure than having a 1v blank situation like the first 2.
Right. This time Sin looks like getting a little aggressive in the basement, and they read it, and he gets punished early. So they're gonna start the round out a little hurt, but I don't think HP affects how these guys will peak or play. So as long as Sin is alive, he's gonna be on that lurk in the basement, as he usually does here.
Exactly. In a game like this, like we mentioned earlier, where a headshot is a one shot no matter how much health you are, getting out of a fight with low HP can sometimes mean nothing more than, hey, I get a second chance at this.
Right. Now we're looking at Borger challenging this K9 player, perhaps. 2 players K9 from Vandals, and nobody's on that case window next to where Moon is positioned, and that's a little questionable because you usually want to have that room or that window open up to challenge the top of the library balcony there.
Then we got a great angle.
And never mind, does not kill the Grim, jumps in and fries him. That was a huge misplay. And it looks like Vandals are actually capitalizing on that. They did refrag the Grim on site. EKU did. And now Borger and Moon go huge on the top floor to secure the round for EKU. Wow. Looks like could have been a costly mistake, but the rest of the team tightens up and takes care of business.
Yeah, another one of those instances that I love to joke about of just when it's your job to talk about what's happening, the amount of times you get proven wrong as you're saying it. As I'm saying, great angle here, that peak happens and it just...
I mean, you should win that 100% of the
Yeah.
time. That was very unfortunate for Kovics there, but they're going to fish out the timeout for Vandals. I mean, you're down 0-4. You got to start getting some attacks, you know. I might have called the timeout sooner after Lomo had a back-to-back insane clutches, but well, this might be a little late. If Vandals can scrape up a couple rounds here on their attack, they'll be back in the game with a chance. But I mean, right now, EKU, they're running away with it. They own this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're just seeing back to back, as much as we've talked about Lomo, Moon already has been creeping up right behind him here, going 6-3. This is just EKU's game so far. And as we've discussed since the start here, that maybe the biggest misplay isn't anything happening in the game so far. It's a lack of research on which team you're picking the map Chalet against. A team notorious enough that we knew this was their best map last semester, but we never got to see it because EKU Maroon is good enough on this map that it got banned out from under them almost every single time.
At the end of the day, I think if you're confident on a map, you know, you could take anybody to any map if it's what you believe in. And you know, I was hoping to see more from Vandals choosing to take EKU to Chalet here, because yeah, Chalet is historically known to be a good EKU map, but yeah, Vandals just shown that, you know, maybe that wasn't the case. They've had 2 rounds that they've got just picked apart in general, and 2 rounds where they have thrown what should have been easy 5v2 and 4v1 rounds, and now EKU gonna jump back to Garage, where, you know, last time they won this on the 2v5 from Lomo and Moon, and Vandals are gonna have to show the same ability in the early round, but they're gonna have to show they're able to execute late round.
Lomo.
Yeah, Lomo's on a heater. He's gonna be spawn peeking. I mean, and you just, when Lomo's on fire, you know,
I mean,
can't. You're not slowing it down. He's taking his faith in Windows. He's picking your team before you even use spawn.
I mean, at this point, I'm just going to report him for cyberbullying, because that is just a crazy spawn peek right at the start of the game. Just a beautiful play there from Lomo.
Yeah, and already EKU with man advantage here on the garage defense. I mean, they're already setting themselves up, and this time probably won't see Borger contesting the garage map holes so fast.
Yeah, as I joked about, watching him decide whether or not to challenge it, taking just a little bit too much time and getting shot in the feet. It's just an unlucky way to go, man.
Yep.
But hey, as I joked last time, based on that training, that's my high five, buddy. That's my day one. I gotta back him up.
Yeah, it looks like Vandals
A bomb has
do
been
get that
located.
garage breach this round, but they're gonna have to go for something else. Looks like Man, who I was about to say was the man last map. He's not making an impact this time, but Sin with a huge run out. The Claymore gets him on the way back, I suppose. He dodged it at coming out.
Yeah, that is.
There's
Not only
an
did he,
interesting sequence there.
that had to have been a weirdly placed claymore because I didn't notice it, and he also threw an impact nade immediately out of the window. So had to have been an angle you weren't expecting to drop on one.
Yeah, he goes 1 for 1 on it, which unfortunate there for Borger, who had the jump on the guy but couldn't secure the kill, and Moon gets cleaned up there on side on blue, and that was an interesting round. You know, Lomo set the pace with the spawn peak, but EKU then just started giving up picks everywhere and could not hold on to the win.
But I mean, hey, you gotta give them one round, at least. Don't close them out. That's just rude, right?
Yeah, EKU must have decided to give them a compensation
Exactly.
based on how the rest of this map has gone.
And we're gonna see, because we all know Borger wins that if he wants to. So that's what happened. Just give me a round. We're gonna see this round. We're gonna
Attackers need to locate and defuse
see
as many bombs as
amazing
they can.
defense. Maybe not have some people drop as quick. I'm still confused as to where that
Attackers have
claymore
discovered the
is.
location of a bomb.
Yeah, it looked like it was offset a little bit, so it didn't catch him when he jumped out. It was placed wrong, or else it would have killed him when he jumped out. But it looks like he wasn't aware of where it was at. Maybe he thought when he jumped out safe that he got the claymore, but
Yeah.
it wasn't there. Because when he ran back, he must have stepped a little further
I was gonna
and
say,
activated it.
I mean, not only did it miss him on the jump out, the impact nade missing it completely too.
Yeah.
Because
10 seconds left before insertion.
I only noticed the impact nade because I was like, what was that for? Forgetting about claymores entirely. And then when he got hit by it, I was like, oh wait, that's what that must have been for, but it
Attackers
still
are
didn't
heading
miss
out
it.
to defuse a bomb.
So that was just an interesting little thing have happened there. And we're moving into round 6.
Yeah, another garage defense from EKU. Even though they won their kitchen defense pretty decisively previously in this game, they elect not to run kitchen back, and they go back to garage, where neither round have they really looked good here on garage. They just had a hero play coming out initially, and yeah, opting to swap off that tuber out since the Maverick is up, and we see Vandals using the Maverick. I think that's the smart play. Seeing Borger now play the smoke.
And we're seeing it again, Borger. Do you okay, Kolvik.
C4 out from the main stairs window there, and that's Twitch. Would have liked to have got Mav there, but you'll take it. Good C4 from Kolvix.
Oh, we see a bit of damage drop onto the Maverick here from Borger, who's decided, this time, fully confidently, that we are fighting that Maverick.
Yeah, for whatever reason, this Maverick decides to do the bottom holes instead of the top holes first, and then he almost gets punished by Borger. So kind of a questionable approach there, but now we see Sin doing some runouts, but will not get this guy outside West Main.
Yeah, and I mean, as a retired Maverick player myself, the moment they made it to where it was loud, I cannot begin to tell you. The floor and the higher ones are smart because I would just do it head level and get one shot through the own hole I made. I never learned from my mistakes, of course. We do see Man dropping Kolvix here, putting us in a 4v4 situation as we are just trying to clear out this round. Last round and a half. If we're able to get a 5-1 lead in the half, that is just a great spot to be in.
Yeah, we're seeing Vandals go for this backside, but they don't have control above, and we see Loma already punishing one player. Now they're setting the map here to apply some pressure, but they're going to have to either pick Loma or do something else because they only have 3 up, and they got to take care of Loma.
As health just continues to tick away from Vandals.
Yeah, 1 HP on the Grim here.
Ooh.
Loma with the shotgun play on the Maverick. Now he knows that there's this guy West Main stairs, 1 HP.
And we also got the red ping out here. We're ready to just fight.
And Loma, once again, he is the difference maker up there on West Main, picking 3 people, and Vandal's just not able to take care of him. Rest of EKU cleans it up, and yeah, another great round.
And ending it out too with just a confident swing there from Moon, taking out that last player for Vandals.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that guy was doing on the table and
He's-
inside while his team is trying to clear Loma upstairs, but yeah, I'm not sure. Vandals look like they're crumbling to me, and they're down 1-5 on their chalet attacks, and
Maybe he was just, admiring the wine collection, picking them out a fine vintage for the after party.
Attackers need to
Yeah.
locate and defuse.
I don't know what
as
else
many
you could be doing
bombs as they
standing on
can.
that table that part of the game.
he must know that this game's over. So
All reinforcements nearly done.
EKU Maroon,
Attackers have
they do need
located the
2
bomb.
rounds here on attack, but Chalet's a little attacker-sided, and only getting 1 round on attack from Vandals is just a depressing sign for their hopes of jumping back into this match.
Yeah, and even so, even if you start to crumble a bit as EKU here, that is 5 rounds
Deploying
in a row
10 seconds
to
to insertion.
EKU's 2 that need to be won here on Vandals. I mean, you can give up
5 seconds left before
4
insertion.
rounds and still be in a decent spot here
Attackers
as
are moving to
EKU.
defuse the bomb.
So this is the time where you're feeling confident, you're feeling good about yourself, especially if you're Lomo.
Yeah. Looks like bringing both the Buck and the Ram, that EKU are going to want to do some full map control here above the site, and bringing the Deimos to clear any roamers, and probably a good call because Legion and Wamai on the side of Vandals are playing up above on the first floor around the dining area.
I'm not sure where or how we missed it, but it looks like the Wamai is already missing some of their health. EKU is starting this fast out, fully aggressive with a slight health advantage here.
Yeah, and they're gonna find out pretty quick if they don't already know this top floor is good. They're gonna have to watch the Legion knows, and they looks like they're getting red ping mode. They know where this Legion is, and won't be surprised if you see a scan from Loma come out here to track the Legion pretty soon.
I mean, might not even need it. We already saw Loma pick that fight with them. Ooh, Bidnick very close here.
Oh, not able to aim straight down, and he gets punished by Legion looking straight up. Interesting.
I don't think Loma liked that one all too much.
Dot's coming from Lomo there. He's getting shot through the floor, and now they're just gonna work vert above this guy and try to clear him out. This one, Mai's also in kitchen. They've got 2 people to worry about. There's also a flank, but it looks like Borger has the read. But he got a cam last second. And Sin goes down.
Oh, we get the info though. I think he did see him in the second there.
They know that he's here for
Swinging the fight.
Sin.
Ooh,
But just insane
timing there is
for
so
Borger.
unlucky. That is siege timing at its finest.
Swapping mags.
Colbix will take the initiative to get that Wamai though. And we see that Legion has gone downstairs. Everybody's bunkered now. If they have cutoff drones, they know that the rest of Vandals are bunkered. They still have this ram up. They can try to work another pick before going for execute here on the site. They have, with the vert control, they have everything they need to plant Snowmobile. But they might actually go for a backside take, but this might be a little tricky being in the man disadvantage.
Really big fucking hole.
Open up this boiler wall. If they do this backside take, they're gonna look to plant there across from the boiler wall at the barrels. But first, you gotta take care of this pillar guy or hold him, hold his position.
Oh, do we know? Oh, now we do.
15 seconds remaining. 10 seconds
Yeah,
to go.
Colby's gonna cross and try to play here. Somebody's gotta cover his pillar though.
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
I mean, taking that swing on a shotgun is not where you want to be. As 1 and 2 drop down, giving that round to Vandals' second round in the game. Going to them. It looks like we are dropping in here. Slight change up, I believe. I didn't notice if we had the Ash or not last round. Nomad, as we talked about, great.
Attackers need
Make
to
sure there's
locate and
no
defuse as many bombs as they can.
flanks happening on you or any jump outs. We've seen a couple times we stopped.
Yeah, bar
Attackers
defense
have discovered the
from
location of a
Vandals will
bomb.
see what EKU decide to do if they decide to go for a library direct take or if they want to cross over from solar side to get the top floor control that they need here on the bar attack.
We're ready for company.
Bringing the Flores likely for util clear on site over from the Nomad makes me think, and especially seeing the Capital now, we're likely going to see
10
EKU
seconds
do
to
a
go.
library direct take on the Vandals bar defense.
5 seconds to
This
insertion.
library being critical to holding.
And we do now see that
Attackers
last second
objective is
Twitch
to defuse the bomb.
swap, probably trying to counteract that Mira there because, I mean, as a Mira player, I know the pain.
Yep. Twitch always strong here, especially if there's mirror. Can also zap one Mind Magnets to help clearing all the castles and other util and deployable shields easier.
That is true because I've whenever I played heavy, I think when I kind of stopped playing, that character was out for about a month or two, so it's still the newer character when I kind of dropped the game the first time, and I just see Twitch and I know it is like just the Mira killer right there. So I didn't even think about, there's a lot of util that can be dropped there.
Yep. Looks like Frost is getting fired and punished. There we go. That might have been their what we call suicide player, which is the corner of library where you're almost guaranteed to die, but you can maybe waste some time. And looks like it was suicide for Frost if that's in fact where she was this round.
Yeah, we're already seeing a bit of fire damage there on the Wamai, so we've just got, I mean, it's a great start to the round. We're looking solid here, trying to move in to this floor. I mean, we've got most of the control from what I can tell. I don't see any highlights, and Borger finds one there.
Yep. Now they know they have this top mezzanine control. They're going to be getting in, and they know that the only step left here before they're about ready for execute is clearing this blue guy. The top of blue stairs. And there he goes. Man is down, and it's a 5v2 for EKU. They have everything they need. They have time, they have util, they have man advantage. They just can't get too excited here, and they should be.
So we've seen these fall apart, but not from EKU so far. So I think we're pretty confident looking in here, trying to find in that last little bit of damage. I mean, we've got EKU playing from where we were able to win the last games, and Kolvix finds that, putting it into a 1v5, and it's just over for him.
Yeah.
It's a flawless round. Beautiful. Love to see it.
Great round from EKU on the library direct, and yeah, Vandals they just looked lost there. Looked a lot better on their garage defense, but they're on bar. They got ripped apart by the utility and the angles in the windows.
I mean, as we just discussed, a map like this is pretty much solved. Like you mentioned, a spot almost will always be held, knowing you're gonna die, but you just gotta hope you get your trade. And when you're playing a team that is as comfortable on this map as EKU is, being able to lock in that Capital to be able to pressure those angles you know someone's gonna be at most likely, and have someone follow up on it. I mean,
Attackers need to locate and defuse
it's
bombs.
just comes down to map knowledge at that point. You know someone's gonna be there, you know exactly how to counter it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point about map knowledge, because Vandals, they were missing some important pieces on attack. Like, nobody was on the case window for their bar attacks or any time that they wanted library control. They were just lacking certain factors that are just kind of ball knowledge that EKU have that Vandals just don't regarding Chalet, and kind of looking a little embarrassed for Vandals here for picking
10 seconds
Chalet
to go.
against EKU. Again, was hoping that they would show EKU some stuff that they might not have seen before, but so far EKU have dealt with them, whether it be from the individual clutch plays or just knowing how to approach the map. And now it's 6-2 match point. They have all the chances in the world to close this match out.
Yeah, we know exactly where one person is, and it's not like they're trying to hide it either.
Yeah,
Air jab ready.
going up there, playing in office, peeking out onto the canine balcony, and
Reload.
We're starting the round too with just, I mean, we're talking about map knowledge here as we're watching Kolvix drop those nomad mines on those air jabs just right where they need to be, exactly where someone in this situation might run out and drop you as you're holding that window.
yeah. Lomo also entering in below. Interested to see how they decide to utilize the buck getting in below here to net them this round. Looks like they are going to go for the library side control. Lomo getting in below. Now, library, he could walk up on this blue stairs player. Likely how we're going to see him used.
Yeah, and I mean, we're already seeing just health tick away.
The attackers bomb diffuser
Yeah, but
has
man
been
will
dropped.
get one top mezzanine, but immediately refrag. Great refrag from Sin, and another for Sin to secure the man advantage. Vandals will answer back, but another trade from EKU. Lomo comes in, and it's a 3v2. So far, perfect trades from EKU. Vandals making decent plays, but just immediately getting punished, and now they're at the man disadvantage.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
A 2 versus 3, while EKU might have what they need. The ace went down, so they're not going to be able to open up these long angles into office. So they're going to have to adapt here for how they deal with these last two players. Looks like they're sending the buck to try to work out some of these positions. But I'm not sure that they know where the defenders are positioned.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, intel and info is just the deciding factor for a team, especially close enough as 3v2 can be. That just one slip up here, I mean, it can mean 2 to 3 people dropping from one small mistake.
You know, looks like Momo is going to get highway, but it's closed off. I'm not sure if they can even open to contest from highway. They're just going to have to flood here. It's going to be a big funnel. They're going to have to win gunfights if they're going to win this round. But they're going to flash his team. But Lomo with the pick on the office player.
Seconds remaining.
Youthful will get Lomo though. Win with 1 or 2, but Kolvix
Is able to find the last one. Amazing play, amazing game as a whole from EKU there. I mean, Lomo starting it out, Moon throughout, also just great plays from everybody.
Yeah, he will secure it, and EKU will take the win here. 2-0 versus Vandals.
And you'll have to see that bit of positivity right there at the end with some GGs, some hearts going in chat. I mean, great game, great mental from both teams. You just love to see it. Good sportsmanship all around.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody, they definitely knew Lomo's contributions to winning that map there, especially those early rounds. But at the end of the day, Vandals just simply looked outclassed on their own map pick. Showed a lot more promise on Clubhouse that we played, but did not look like they stood a chance against EKU on Chalet, and Chalet took care of business for EKU, and they stole the win on Club, and 2-0 for on to Vandals. They're undefeated still.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I would like to point out here too, as much as we're saying the misstep on Chalet, this isn't even, neither of us are saying that this team was bad on Chalet. It's just EKU showed the masterclass to them. They said next time someone's gonna have to pay us to play on this map so they can learn how these high level of players know their maps.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Vandals are good enough at it that they thought to pick it against EKU, but yeah, EKU are just that much better, and especially praise to Lomo for some great plays.
I didn't quite catch that final KD, but I mean, do we even have to at that?
16-4 or something? It had
It had to be,
4 KD on Chalet. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's just crazy. So, but overall, yeah, great team performance. Probably, although Lomo's plays were great, I do want to praise the adaptation that we saw from EKU on Clubhouse, being down 3-5, still bringing that back, making those great attack adaptations, and winning that 7-5 4 in a row. That was huge, and that's the reason that they won club just as much as Loma was a big reason why they won Chalet.
Absolutely. I mean, even just saying that, I know from my point of view, it looks like, I mean, we both came into this very confident about EKU Chalet, pretty confident about the clubhouse. But as we lost those first early rounds, it was looking like this might be a guaranteed map 3. Because, like I said, I never lost faith, even before we saw it, that EKU's losing on Chalet. But I saw that, I was like, oh, we might be going to map 3 today. We might have a long one. But, I mean, sure enough, coming back, like you said, just get that 5 and 7 by the end of it was just an amazing play from both teams.
Right.
But overall, I think that's all I've got to say. I've been Dakota.
Marshall.
Yeah, and we'll see you all next week with some more Siege.